Democracy Now! Talk about global warming, where it stands today, what needs to be done.
Well, look, we're really seeing this summer around the world, despite what Dr. Muller was peddling a minute ago, what climate change looks like in its early stages. It's been a pretty scary summer, not just here in this country where we're seeing epic heat and drought, but up on Greenland, maybe the most important place in the world, where the science and the actualities of what's going on are sort of clearer day by day by day. We're seeing record melt. We're seeing snow turning to water and soaking up more of the sun's heat. It's been a ragged summer. And the point of this piece in Rolling Stone, which oddly enough, though it's fairly mathematical, has gone kind of viral, the point of it is we now know enough to know what the future holds unless we change fast. The piece points out that scientists have long told us that if we want to stay below 2 degrees warming, which is what every government in the world, even the most conservative, have adopted as the bottom line, we can only burn 565 more gigatons of carbon. Unfortunately, a new analysis by a bunch of UK financial analysts showed that the fossil fuel industry and those countries that kind of operate like the fossil fuel industry, Venezuela or Kuwait, have in their reserves 2,795 gigatons of carbon in their coal and gas and oil. That's still below ground, but economically it's essentially above ground. They're borrowing money against it. Their share prices are based on it. Unless we change things very dramatically, it's going to get burned and we are going to overwhelm the climate system.
Bill McKibben,
we're going to need to stand up to that industry. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Your assessment of Dr. Muller's conversion, as he describes it, now saying that global warming is human-caused.
It's scientifically not very interesting because, most scientists figured it out 20 years ago, and all he's done is confirm their work. Politically, it's interesting because we're reaching the point where even the kind of industry-funded deniers can't, with a straight face, say that it's not warming. In fact, Exxon CEO Rex Tillerson 2 weeks ago, probably more importantly, said, yes, forget all the things that my predecessors have said about how global warming was a hoax. Global warming is real, and we're causing it. He then went on to say, but it's an engineering problem with engineering solutions, and the example that he gave was, if we need to move our crop production areas, we will. By crop production areas, I think he means what the rest of us call farms. And if you look at an atlas, there's really not a lot of room to move them. You can't take an Iowa cornfield where we're not going to grow any corn this year because of the heat and drought and somehow transplant it up to the melting Arctic tundra, because when you get up there, there's no soil. What needs to be adapted is not our crop production areas. What needs to be adapted are the business plans of the fossil fuel industry. They need to stop exploring for more hydrocarbons. They need to stop warping our democracy by buying off the House and the Senate. And instead, we need to put the most obvious thing to do, what every economist now for 20 years have been saying,
5 seconds.
is put a stiff price on carbon to reflect the damage that it does. And that's one of the things we work on at 350.org.
We want to thank you very much, Bill McKibben, for being with us. We'll link to your piece at Rolling Stone.